Welcome to The Explainer. We're diving straight in today because there is a massive tension pulling at the global economy right now. On one hand, you have this almost unimaginable gold rush of corporate AI investment.
But on the other hand, you have very real public anxiety. It's literally all anyone is talking about at work right now. We keep hearing that AI is this ultimate productivity engine, but then every time we check the news, another tech giant is announcing massive layoffs.
So today, we're unpacking the hidden economics driving this whole paradox, and we are using hard data to show you what is actually happening behind the headlines. And to really understand the scale of what we're talking about, you have to wrap your head around this number, $700 billion. That is the staggering amount being spent industry-wide on AI infrastructure this year alone. We are talking colossal data centers, advanced semiconductors, massive power and cooling systems. This isn't just an upgrade cycle. It's a complete rewiring of the tech world.
700 billion in a single year? That capital has to come from somewhere, which brings us directly to the human cost of this infrastructure boom.
Let's get right into Section 1, the big tech restructuring. This unprecedented shift in capital is forcing a radical, and honestly sometimes brutal, realignment inside the world's most profitable companies. Take Microsoft, for example. They recently cut 4,800 jobs, which is roughly 2.1% of their global workforce. But the crazy part is where those cuts actually happened. An estimated 3,200 of those jobs were slashed from the Xbox gaming division. Now, Microsoft literally just invested over $20 billion into gaming over the last 5 years. So why gut the division now?
Right, it's a great question. Basically, when a company is spending hundreds of billions on servers and chips, investors start demanding to know exactly how they're going to protect their profit margins. And this isn't just a Microsoft story.
When you zoom out, you see this is entirely systemic. Amazon shedding 16,000 corporate roles for an efficiency push, Meta pivoting hard toward AI investments and cutting around 8,000 people, HSBC restructuring to the tune of 20,000 jobs. In early 2026 alone, the tech sector saw 110,000 layoffs. The titans of industry are just frantically reallocating cash toward artificial intelligence.
And seeing all these massive cuts stacked up naturally leads to the exact question I know everyone watching is asking right now.
Are these thousands of people being fired because a chatbot or an AI agent suddenly took over their daily tasks? I mean, are we looking at the robot takeover already?
It's the logical assumption to make. But the data points us to a much more surprising reality about what AI can actually do right now.
So here is the twist. The AI isn't actually perfectly doing these jobs yet. In fact, Mark Zuckerberg recently admitted that the pace of AI agent development hasn't met management's expectations. These massive layoffs aren't happening because AI replaced the worker. Executives are cutting human labor to foot the massive bill for AI infrastructure. To put that into perspective, Microsoft's projected capital expenditure for 2026 is an eye-watering $190 billion. Wait, okay, so they aren't firing people because AI is doing the work. They are firing people to buy the servers for the AI. That is a massive distinction. And that crucial distinction brings us to Section 2, the AI job paradox. When you actually dig into the macroeconomic data of companies adopting AI, a completely different narrative emerges, and it directly clashes with the alarmist predictions you see in the media. You have figures like the CEO of Anthropic predicting that up to 50% of all entry-level white-collar jobs could dissolve in the next 5 years. Terrifying thought, right? But a highly detailed study by the Information Technology and Innovation Foundation, the ITIF, shows the exact opposite. They found that high-intensity AI adopting firms actually increased their total headcount by over 10%.
Hold on, really? So the companies using the most AI are actually hiring the most humans? How does that even break down?
The reality is job growth in high-intensity AI firms is exploding. Sales is up 10.3%, administrative roles are up 7.8%, engineering up 7.3%. What is happening is that AI is driving robust productivity. As the ITIF explains, when AI automates routine tasks, services get cheaper, companies expand, and they actually need more people in sales, admin, and engineering to manage all that new growth.
Exactly. And if you thought AI was just going to wipe out junior employees, get ready for this next stat, because it completely flips the conventional wisdom on its head.
Host B? Contrary to popular belief, aggressive AI adopters actually hire 12% more entry-level workers. And it doesn't stop there. They also hire 6.7% more managers. When a company uses AI effectively, it becomes more competitive and grows faster, creating a rising tide that lifts human hiring across the board.
Wow, so a rising tide actually does lift all ships. But to really understand why this feels so jarring to people right now, we need to step back and look at history.
Let's move into Section 3, the Industrial Revolution 2.0. What we are living through right now isn't entirely unprecedented. The current race to build data centers and secure silicon is basically the modern equivalent of laying railroad tracks and building steam-powered factories. Researchers in the premier Journal of Business and Management recently mapped this out. When old crafts faded during the industrial era, new factory roles emerged. Today, AI is automating routine cognition, which is shifting the balance of where human skills are most needed. And the academic term for this specific shift is incredibly important for anyone trying to plan their career right now. It's called labor market polarization. Think about it this way. Historical factory machines replaced raw muscle. Today, AI is replacing routine middle-skill tasks like basic clerical work or data entry. So you see a shrinking middle, but a simultaneous growth in high-skill cognitive jobs like AI integration managers and non-routine, lower-skill jobs like personal care, which robots just can't easily do yet.
But it's not all sunny skies. There is a darker economic potential to this technological leap that we really have to talk about.
Economists warn of something called digital Taylorism. This is where AI isn't just a tool, it's actually your manager. Think of gig economy workers whose pay rates, task assignments, and performance metrics are constantly dictated by opaque algorithms. It raises some really serious concerns about workers losing their autonomy and facing relentless digital surveillance.
Which is exactly why the conversation is rapidly shifting toward how our laws and societal safety nets need to catch up.
And that brings us to Section 4, Adapting the Social Contract. As AI polarizes the job market, how do policy and society evolve so that everyday people actually survive this transition? Well, policymakers don't have decades to figure this out. They have to act at digital speed. Consider this. AI compute power has grown 4.6 times every single year since 2010. This revolution is proliferating globally almost instantly. It is not a localized industrial boom. It is a worldwide algorithmic shockwave.
And because of that incredible speed, we're seeing some truly radical economic policies being pushed right to the center of the political stage.
The two loudest ideas right now are universal basic income, or UBI, and the so-called robot tax. These aren't just sci-fi concepts anymore. They are being seriously debated as necessary safeguards against massive wealth inequality. Let's break down how both sides are looking at this, because the debate is getting fierce. On one hand, universal basic income would provide a regular, unconditional cash payment to citizens, acting as a baseline safety net if broad automation displaces workers. On the other hand, a robot tax would essentially tax companies for using AI-enhanced capital and then use that money to fund worker retraining. Proponents say these policies ensure the benefits of AI are actually shared, but critics argue strongly that a robot tax would stifle crucial innovation and that UBI could cause inflation or disincentivize work.
It's absolutely a debate that will define the next decade. But while the politicians argue over taxes, you still have to go to work on Monday.
Let's bring this home with Section 5. Future-proofing your career. Because while layoffs make all the headlines, there are currently an estimated 275,000 AI-related jobs sitting entirely empty. The jobs are there, but the skill requirements have changed. Just look at JP Chase. They implemented an AI system to review commercial loan agreements. A task that used to take their teams roughly 360,000 hours a year is now done in seconds. Now, if your entire job was just reading those contracts, you've been automated. But if you know how to wield the AI doing the reading, you're invaluable.
Right. So if there are 275,000 open jobs, what are the actual skills you need to land one? Let's rapid fire the top skills required for 2026.
First up, prompt engineering. This means moving past vague requests and giving AI structured, outcome-driven instructions. Next is AI-powered content creation, generating and optimizing content for real business tasks like customer support or marketing. And a huge one, AI data analysis, using AI to spot patterns in massive data sets without needing to manually crunch the numbers in a spreadsheet yourself.
Absolutely. And let's round that list out with two more crucial capabilities.
Fourth is no-code AI automation. And here is the good news. You don't need a computer science degree anymore to automate repetitive admin tasks. Finally, AI tool integration, connecting different AI platforms to drastically improve your daily workflow efficiency. These are the skills that make you indispensable, regardless of what your job title is. I think the reality of this transition is perfectly captured by a recent memo from Microsoft's Executive VP Amy Coleman.
She said companies don't get to choose whether their industry changes. They only get to choose whether they change with it. And what's true for multi-trillion-dollar corporations is absolutely true for us as individuals. Resisting technological change is historically a losing battle.
For sure. You have to lean in. The data clearly shows that AI is a tool of massive expansion for those who know how to use it.
Which leaves us with this final thought. The AI revolution isn't some dystopian future you need to hide from. It's a profound economic restructuring you need to actively participate in. So as AI continues to redefine what machine intelligence can do, how will you redefine your own role alongside it? Thanks for joining us for this explainer. Keep learning, stay curious, and we'll see you next time.